Hey everyone, my name is Valentina Potapova. Welcome to the Artefacts channel, where we help everyone improve their drawing skills and get real pleasure from it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw a nose in just 10-15 minutes. Creating beautiful forms is not difficult at all, and today we will see it together. But in order to get a good result, I recommend everyone to watch the video carefully and until the very end. You know, when it comes to drawing, it's important to pay attention to the little things. The first thing we're going to do is set our sights on the horizon. This is the uppermost part of the nose. We will draw a nose at an angle, which will allow us to create an accurate depiction of its shape and position. Thus, consequently, our nose will also be positioned at an angle. Therefore, we are sort of sketching parallel diagonals in order to accurately depict the perspective of the object. And we connect, so it turns out to be a rectangle. What is our nose composed of? The nose consists of a bridge. Next comes the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, the wings, and the nostrils. These are the primary components. Following that, we can proceed to outline the bridge of the nose, which is an essential and prominent feature of the face. To create the lightweight form, we will start by constructing a rectangle using these lines. Then, we will gradually widen it by adding some gentle curves in the middle area, while also incorporating corners to shape our nose. This process will give our form a more refined and polished look. By carefully adjusting the dimensions and proportions, we can achieve the desired lightweight appearance without compromising on stability. The combination of straight lines, curves, and corners will work together harmoniously to create a visually pleasing and well-balanced form. Look, the horizon line needs to be slightly lower and the top line should be slightly larger. Yeah, it's all about perspective and making these adjustments for a better composition. After that, we will proceed to the tip of the nose. In the beginning, you will be able to spot him with this particular kind of circle shape. Then we will simply make it a bit more geometric. So like we will be able to kind of figure out all of these little details and enhance our understanding. As we are observing the nose from a lower perspective, we will consequently perceive this small platform. So at this present moment, we find ourselves in this particular position, indicating it with a slight angle, and then smoothly we will move on to the nostrils. They will not be located here, but rather they will be situated right here in this specific area. Well, let's just lightly indicate the nostrils with a semicircular line, providing a subtle representation. And then, in the subsequent steps, we will proceed to shape the wing of the nose, carefully crafting its form and structure to achieve the desired outcome. Let's make our circles smaller, just shrink this little tip a bit. Here are some pretty ragged lines that we need to adjust. Let's work on refining the shape and making it more precise. Therefore, do not attempt to immediately draw a perfect line. We are able to observe a small amount of a falling shadow, which will move towards the filter and gradually diminish. That is what they believed. You know, there is this painful spot right under the nose, closer to the lip area. It can be quite uncomfortable and sensitive. She is in fact shaping her lip in that specific location with the assistance of this small cupid's bow, which is a defining feature of her upper lip. Drawing is not only a fun hobby, but it is also an excellent way to relieve stress and unwind. Click on the like button if you're in favor. Look, we'll use shading and filling. Presently, we'll begin by adding the filling. You can do it in any direction. The main thing is to do it evenly, like this. Just paint it in a literal sense, yes, paint it. And since we have a side, we'll also paint it, but of course darker because it's on the side. Ensure to evenly distribute the paint across the surface, ensuring a consistent application. This will create a visually appealing effect, highlighting the dimensions and contours of the object. So, don't forget to evenly distribute the paint, ensuring a consistent application to achieve the desired visual outcome. Following that, we are going to proceed to go over this small area in detail together with you. At this stage, we'll start using diagonal direction, as our nose is voluminous after all. So, in this step, we'll now add diagonal direction and also apply paint to achieve the desired result. This will enhance the overall appearance and create a more visually appealing effect. Taking these measures will ensure that we achieve the desired outcome and create a stunning final look for our nose. Make sure to write questions about drawing techniques in the comments. What's causing the trouble? What parts are you not understanding? What do we need to clarify? We'll definitely get back to them. In essence, it is akin to a tonal filling that provides us with a sense of completeness and harmony. So, let's assume that the artists have the ability to employ a special artistic sauce for shading. However, in this particular scenario, we are only using a pencil for shading, which allows us to smudge the bold line we previously outlined on the bridge of the nose to a certain degree, like this. Moving on, our next step will be to delicately pull it in order to emphasize the nose. By doing so, we can enhance the overall appearance and bring attention to this particular facial feature, creating a more realistic and captivating artwork that effectively captures the essence of the subject. Let's stretch, it transpires, the nasal septum, additionally adding tone and slightly dissolving it, so that we have such a gradient forming. This stretching action not only helps shape the nasal septum, but also contributes to the overall tone and texture, creating a gradual transition in the process. What is our subsequent move? Our next action is to darken the lower part of the bridge of the nose slightly in order to enhance its appearance. So in the end, we come to the conclusion that we are faced with such a transition. This situation arises when your nose has a small bump, which can lead to a noticeable change in appearance. So, like, a certain portion of the nose becomes darker. In addition, the tip of his nose protrudes. You know what I mean? Like, he's performing, so he's clearly getting up. Accordingly, we should also bring the tone down with him. Hey everyone! If you're interested in mastering the art of pencil drawing, I'd like to share a link to Konstantin Sterkov's free marathon with you all. During the classes, under the guidance of the master, you will be able to master some kick-ass drawing techniques that will take your artwork to a whole new level. After registration, you get a bonus, a checklist of the 5 basic principles of pencil drawing. The hyperlink for complimentary registration will be situated in the description of the video. We will trim down this lower part here even further to remove any excess content. We also include all this bottom stuff, including this nostril. You and I also shade it for complete accuracy in conveying the meaning without adding fictional information or omitting crucial details. Or we can crosshatch and fill it in. This is the general vibe we have going on. Once again, this entire thing is necessary for generalization. And when it comes to the section of the wing of the nose, we simply pour it in this manner. To summarize, without any delay, we can somewhat, well, not truly somewhat, but instead firmly establish and define the outline of the descending shadow in a clear and precise manner, leaving no room for doubt or confusion, right from the beginning of our discussion. Thus, we merely labeled it. The closer an item is to your nose, the denser it will be in terms of its composition and structure. Proximity to the nose directly correlates with increased density. Due to the complete lack of illumination in that particular area, there is no light whatsoever present. So accordingly, we're just ramping it up a little bit. Here's what we gradually move away from our nose, we weaken. Let's create a gradient once again. Next, we can cover your nostrils together in unison, with that type of average tone as well. And in this case, to convey depth, we make use of barrels and then proceed to darken the area from a higher position. We leave the middle. Now we are going to work on the tip of the nose. Additionally, we will darken it from below in the same diagonal direction, ensuring a gradual transition of shading for a more realistic effect. We are going to dim the lights on the side in order to make the tip lights up and create a more atmospheric ambiance in the room. We will make it work with the diagonal direction to ensure optimal performance and achieve the desired outcome. The more direction, the stronger the twist. The stronger this entire thing gets twisted and tangled. Let's darken this lower area once more, so that the tip of the nose separates slightly from us. And let's give it a direction based on the shape of the tip of the nose, with a smooth stretch from the top. We can separate it like this to some extent, and then we can choose a few initial intentions. For example, we can consider emphasizing the curvature of the tip or highlighting the shadow underneath. These subtle adjustments will enhance the overall realism of the artwork and create a sense of depth. It's important to carefully observe the reference and make gradual modifications to achieve the desired effect. Now we will gently cover the wing of the nose in the same familiar diagonal direction with you, just like we did before during our previous session together. Firstly, it is more distant and at a lower elevation in this location. Consequently, we simply provide a brief overview of it. At this moment, we are going to create a small platform that will serve our purpose effectively. Situated at the tip of the nose, it becomes evident in the very left part, right next to the nostril. We will darken it slightly like this, and the nostril itself, we will also darken it a bit from the left side. We can keep the center as it is, glowing. And now, we will add a touch more clarity to enhance the overall appearance. By doing this, we can achieve a more defined and polished look. This will help to bring out the desired features and create a more visually appealing effect. Adding these subtle adjustments will contribute to the overall realism of the artwork. So here is the thing. Well, there you have it. We also have a nasolabial fold. It is a common feature in human anatomy, found in the area between the nose and the corners of the mouth. There are tiny squares located below. Let's elevate the level, shall we? Let us take it up a notch, if you will. Allow us to incorporate some background information into the discussion. Let's incorporate a subtle highlight to the bridge of the nose. Just make a gentle movement in that direction to enhance the overall look. Additionally, we have the ability to darken the side of the back of the nose, providing further enhancement to the overall appearance and contour of the face. Let us proceed through the form and incorporate a diagonal direction. We have this particular diagonal direction that we utilize frequently, so it is a common addition for us. Well, and you have the ability to generalize certain moments, combining them together. Thus, at this point, we will proceed to darken the tip of the nose slightly on the left side, and also apply a slight darkening effect on the right side from below, ensuring that it does not shine excessively. In the case that you desire a more visually impactful drawing, it is possible to incorporate additional accent lines. Consequently, we present here a series of dense lines that can effectively highlight a distinctive characteristic of the nose, adding depth and dimension to the overall composition. These accent lines, when strategically placed, can emphasize the unique features of the nose, creating a more graphic and visually striking representation. By carefully manipulating the shading and lines, you can achieve a realistic and aesthetically pleasing depiction of the nose, capturing its subtle nuances and contours. Experimenting with different techniques and approaches will allow you to further enhance the visual impact of your drawing, creating a captivating and engaging artwork. Typically in academic drawing, they do not underline. However, if you desire, we can incorporate a slightly greater amount to further emphasize and make it stand out more prominently, if that is your preference. Due to its unique artistic quality, which sets it apart from other works of its kind, this piece captivates viewers with its profound artistic expression and creative vision. Here is what our small nose turned out to be. At the moment, it is likely just a slightly larger amount. We are also able to identify the nostril. Here you go. Furthermore, a slight bit more, I suppose, we will incorporate some shadows into the design. Observe, at the utmost conclusion, we possess a reflex action that occurs involuntarily in response to a stimulus. And the tiny shadow, it is actually right there, it turns out, lying down. And we also lay it in this diagonal direction, as we had initially planned. Of course, with stretching. Therefore, it is advisable not to position the shadow in the corner, because typically this reflex is present in that particular area. In the Russian artistic tradition, this phenomenon is commonly referred to as light in the shadow, and it is only natural that we should include it in our composition. As you can observe, I am incorporating a combination of diagonal and vertical strokes in this drawing, which allows for a sense of artistic freedom and experimentation. The tone of the drawing plays a crucial role, as it enables us to apply different techniques of hatching and shading to create depth and volume. Consequently, we have now included a small nose in the composition to add a touch of realism. Therefore, I would like to inquire, are you satisfied with the final result you have achieved? I hope you're already trying to draw a similar nose. Be sure to write in the comments if you succeeded, And don't forget to subscribe to keep up with our new releases. Bye for now.